I mean, basically, I pick up my sons every weekend. I will always pick them up Friday, drop them off Sunday. Sometimes I even drop them off Monday, depending on school hours. This weekend, it was a Memorial weekend, and I wanted to go out with my family. They deserved it because school was over, and we had planned this for about 2 months ago. We were going to the Duck Creek out in Utah.
Oh, great.
There were some good trails. On my way out there, I was actually notifying my family I'm going out there. If I don't get reception, please, take a message and I'll get back to you.
Did the kids' moms know where you were going?
No, they did not know. I did explain to my son, and I let them know to let the mothers know. You know what I'm saying?
Didn't think anything of it, right?
This is not something that I caused, and I never. They always know that I will do something like this. There's not something that I just did randomly take off and do it. They know that I love going out to the desert with my kids, and I let my kids know to let them know. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know that I had to go that extra mile, but they should have known better than all that.
Were you there just with your kids, or did you have friends with you?
There was about 35 people there at the campground.
Oh, okay.
They all got arrested.
Really?
All of them got arrested.
These are all your friends at a campground up in Duck Creek?
All of Duck Creek. We're just hanging out. They didn't get arrested Friday. We got arrested the following day. The next morning, when we went traveling up the hill, I was able to get reception. When my phone just pops up, are you okay? Are the kids okay? Did you really do this? Where are the kids? Turn yourself in. And I'm like, what? Everybody that you can think of, family, friends. I don't want to go by names, but it was about 100 messages at once. I get to a town, I get reception. First thing I tell my son, he didn't want this. Call your mother and let her know that you're okay, because something's going on. We did the call, FaceTime. She was all okay. Son, where are you? Blah, blah, blah. He spoke to her. I didn't know what they talked about. Next thing you know, I turned around and I told her, Natalie, your kid's okay. She said, okay. We hanged up. I called Karina Cisneros. After I called Karina Cisneros, that was my 8-year-old son's mother. And I let her know, you know what? Your kid is fine. She started yelling at me. Metro Department detective picked up the phone from her and said, where are you at? I'm like, I'm in the middle of somewhere. I really don't know where I'm at, but I'll let you know. If you want, I can see you where I'm at. My location. By the time I turned around, I had about 100 to 150 cops surrounded me. My friends, they buried me naked in front of the public. I mean, I was stripped down to my pants. Took off my shirt, took off my socks. It was embarrassing. One of the officers, two of the officers just snatched my kid and started running with him. By the time I tried to turn around to see what happened, they were gone. They were taken from my hands.
That was an 8-year-old?
Both of them, Eden and Daniel. They were just snatched out of me. Next thing you know, I was just arrested, brutally arrested, gun points. Every department that you can think was pointing a gun at me.
And right when we got off the phone, the gas station lady just got swatted with a bunch of cops. And then my dad was held gunpoint, and they're like, where's Jose? Where's Jose? We're looking for Jose Montes Herrera and Eden Montes and Daniel Cisneros. And they came and snatched me from my dad, and I told them that we're the kids, and then they asked us a bunch of questions. They took photos of us, and I saw my dad. They had to lift up his shirt, pull down his pants, take off his shoes and stuff. And then they put him in the back of the cop car, and they put me in a separate car and drove me away and asked me questions.
How did all that make you feel?
Well, I was really worried for my dad, yes.
This is an individual who's lived in Las Vegas for 25 years. His life revolves around his kids. He coaches soccer. He coaches baseball. He's a previous business owner. And so this is somebody who is the least likely to ever be involved in something like this. But today, I think the biggest point is moving forward, right? Clearing his name, showing who the real Jose Montes is.
Is there anything that would make this right?
An apologies. I want apologies direct. I haven't gotten the right apologies that I deserve.
Like an apology from who?
Well, to begin with the detectives. from the Metro, from the coroner's office, a call, a letter, anything that would just say, you know what, I can show my kids, this is the apologies that we got. Because at the end of the day, there were the victims in this too. My concern is, let's try to see if we can go fund me, I don't know, something that we can do to help this kid and get justice for that, and get some kind of justice for the family, and find the family at least. Something, you know, because that could have been my kid, and I put myself in that shoe.
Are you worried about how this whole affair affected your kids?
I haven't really got down to that point because it's still new, but I am going to go and we are going to talk about this step by step. And my kids are strong, and hopefully we can overcome this as soon as possible.
Hello, hello, hello. I just want to share this on behalf of Jose Montez. This is a Facebook post. He's the father who got caught up in a little madness this past week when there was a deceased boy found between Las Vegas and Pahrump. And the story went on, and the mother called into the police department, and she thought it was her son. There ended up being an Amber Alert put out. Everyone's looking for this deceased boy who is with, whose brother is still with his dad somewhere. No one knew where. Well, it turned out that same day the news came back and reported. The cops came back and retracted the statements and said, hey, you know what? It was a mistaken identity case. The father is good. He's got his boys. They're out camping. They were just out of touch, had no service. So stop looking for his truck. Forget everything we said about this man. He's all good, sort of thing. It was really, really a sticky situation. I can't even imagine. You know, he could have been pulled over during that time. And with the way people go for their own sort of justice now, so much worse could have happened. But it didn't. Thankfully, they did what they had to do. They got the story cleared up quickly. And anyway, if you haven't been able to read it, I'm going to read it to you, for you. It says, to all my family and friends, I like to let you guys know my kids are safe and sound. We are heading back to Vegas. It breaks my heart to know that I was accused of hurting my son. I was out camping, and in the period of the 12 hours, I didn't have service. I was shocked that people would think I would hurt my son, knowing I do everything for him, or them, excuse me. As for the little kid that is really dead, my prayers are out for that family. I hope they find the peace and the victim. I think he probably meant the suspect, the culprit. I deserve a public apology for what I went through. I had snipers, guns, drones, etc. Me and my kids were also held gunpoint and also was stripped half naked in public. I had my kids snatched right out of my hands. And to all the negative things that people posted on my social media, please delete it. Well, I didn't do anything personally, but I feel for him, and I think that he does deserve an apology. I apologize on behalf of the Las Vegas Metro Police Department that should have dug a little deeper before this information was released. Now, I did hear the sheriff, or I believe it was the sheriff, when they did the press conference, whomever that was, the bald head guy. Pretty sure he's the sheriff or deputy. One of those two. Anyway, he did say that some things got loose on social media before they put what they put on the news, and that they went ahead and put it on the news because of what came from Facebook posts. And he didn't want to talk too much about it, but and or social media started this whole thing. But the fact remains, it was reported straight from the horse's mouth. Las Vegas Metro Police Department, the local news outlets, and we made this man go through hell when all he was doing was out having a good time with his son. Now, please excuse us because we are going through it in this world. We're losing babies left and right, and I'm sure the cops were just trying to get this baby found. but they got to do better, because personally, I've even lost a family member due to mistaken identity. It can be very dangerous. So I hope that they will do better, check into the remains, look at more pictures, talk to more people before they release this kind of information again. But ultimately, I just wanted to post this on behalf of Jose Montez. His kids are not missing. They are not harmed. They are with a happy, loving father. And I personally thank God for that.